So in the last session, we have gone through image shrinking, in which we are removing the rows and columns of the image and we are reducing the size of the image. Then we have discussed about how to zoom the image. So for that we have various techniques of interpolation. The first one we have gone through was pixel duplication. Through pixel duplication, we are zooming the image. The second technique we have discussed was nearest neighbor interpolation. Based on the nearest neighbors, will decide the intensity of the new pixels which is required to zoom the image. And today we'll see a very interesting and little bit complex technique, and that is a bilinear interpolation to zoom the image. So now I am sharing my screen. We have some interesting calculations in it, so you have to focus on it, otherwise it is very difficult to calculate. So is my screen visible? Can you see the screen? Yes, are you able to see the screen? Okay, so let us consider this. We have an image 2 cross 2 with intensity is given 1, 2, 3 and 4 for our reference. You can see that 1 pixel is at the bottom left corner, 1 2 is at the top left, pixel 2 2 is at top right corner, and pixel 2 1 is at bottom right corner. So this is how we have the 4 pixels, and now we want to zoom the image. So when we zoom the image, this 2 cross 2 image will be converted in. Here I have considered the values for that. The xy coordinate for this new pixel positions. It is very easy to generate. As you can see, there are difference of 1 and 2. So I have generated 1.33 and 1.66. We have total 4 pixels now. 1, comma 2, 1.33, comma and 2, comma 2. That is how we are getting 4 cross 4 image. So these are the coordinates. We can say these are the coordinates. Now for this new pixel positions, we have to find out the intensities which we can put into it. Right, we have to find out the intensities which we can put into this new pixel positions. So for that we have to use a bilinear interpolation technique. So can you tell how many new values we have to find out? Yes, can you tell how many new values we have to calculate? If you can answer, it will be good. In the first row, can you tell how many values we have to calculate? Yes, can you hear me? In the first row, yes.
Excuse me,
Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible.
you are not audible, sir.
So here in this picture, is it clear now, voice? Is the voice clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, as you can see, that here we have 4 points: Q11, Q12, Q22, and Q21. These are the 4 points. So we are calculating the value of FR2. R2 is your point 1.33, comma 2, where X is your 1.33 and Y is your 2. So we are calculating the value of FR2, X comma Y2. So X2 minus X. X2 is given to us. X2 is 2. Clear? X1, X2. So X2 is your coordinate. So it is 2 minus X. It is 1.33. So that is how we'll calculate 1.33 comma 2. Here the complete calculation is given. You can see here 1.33 comma 2 is equal to 2 x2 minus x upon x2 minus x1 into, as per this is f q12. So q12, you can just look at this q12. It is 3. Intensity is 3. So it is 3 here. I am talking about this point 1.33 comma 2. And similarly, a q22, the another intensity, x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1. X minus x1 upon x2 minus x1 into fq22. So it is 4. So we are getting the value of f 1.33 comma 2 point using this equation as 3.33. It is very simple. 2 minus 1 1, 2 minus 1 1 at the bottom. So just we have to calculate 0.67 into 3 plus 0.33 into 4. So we'll get 3.33. We'll get the value 3.33. That is how we'll get the value of the point, that is R2 point. This is how we'll get the value of R2 point. Now once we are getting the value of R2, it is the point between the two given points. So similarly, if I want to find the value of one more point between the two, another point is 1.66 comma 2. Another point in the line, if we have 2 points, so it is 1.66 comma 2. Right? 4 points are given to us. These 4 points are given to us. So between Q12 and Q22, we want 2 points. Between Q12 point and Q22 point, we want 2 additional points. So now another point which is required is 1.66 comma 2. It is 1.66 comma 2. So x coordinate is 1.66 and y is 2. So that calculation is also as per the same equation. F 1.66 comma 2 is equal to x2 minus x. So it is 2 minus 1.66 upon x2 minus x1 into q21 3 plus the point, that is x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1. So 2 minus 1 into q22. So this will give us 3.66. That is how we are getting the values of the 2 points in the first row. Is this calculation clear? How we are getting the 2 points between the point x1 y2 and x2 y2. So we are generating 2 points between these two, x1 y2 and x2 y2. These are the 2 points in the first row of the image. Is this calculation clear? Right? First, we have generated the x and y coordinates for the new points through a linear spacing. Once we are getting that new points, we have to assign the intensity to that points. We have to assign intensity to that new points. As we have generated two new points in the first row, we have to calculate the intensity for the 2 points. So is this first row of the image clear? How new intensities are generated? Yes, is it clear? Then we can proceed further. Okay, so now similar to that, we are generating the values for the bottom row of the image. Again, we have 2 points. We are generating the intensity for the bottom row points. That is 1.33 comma 1 and 1.66 comma 1. It is 1.33 comma 1 and 1.66 comma 1. So for that we have to consider 2 points Q11 and Q21. We have to consider 2 points Q11 and Q21. These two intensities we have to consider, and that is 1 and 2. That is 1 and 2. So that calculation is also here, 1.33 comma 1. So as per the equation, we are generating this point, right? It is x2 minus x upon x2 minus x1, x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1. So we are generating for this point x2 minus x upon x2 minus x1 fq11 plus x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1 fq21. So as per this, so only you can see that there is a change of the actual values, but other equations are same. You can see x2 minus x, same equation, right? Only changes in the intensity. Here it is fq11 and fq21 that are used. So otherwise the equation is same. So now if you use this equation, you will get the values of f 1.33 comma 1, that is 1.33, and f 1.66 comma 1, that is 1.66. Is this clear? Is this clear? So for the first row, middle two elements, we have generated the new intensities. For the last row, middle two elements, we have generated the intensities. So now using this simple equation, can you tell what will be the values for the first column? What will the values for the first column? Which 2 points we have to consider for the first column? Which two Q values we have to consider for the first column? If you can tell from this picture. Now we are talking about the first column instead of row. Yes, if you can write in the chat window, it will be good. Which two values we have to consider for the first column? That is Q11. Yes, your answer is correct. And Q12. We have to consider that two values for the first column. Similarly, for the last column, we can find out the 2 points. Similarly, for the last column, we can find out the 2 points in the same way. And we'll consider the points as Q21 and Q22. Q21 and Q22. So again, we have 4 values we have to calculate. So I have calculated for that. You can see it is 1, 1.66 and 1, 1.33. You can see 1, 1.66 and 1, 1.33. The first column. And similar to that, we can calculate for the last column 2, 1 and 2, 1.33. This is how we'll get the another 4 values. So top row is complete, bottom row is complete, first column is also complete, left column and right column is also complete. So still we have to find out the values for the middle 4 positions. Still we have to find out the values for the middle 4 positions. Right? Middle row and middle column. That 4 positions we have to focus. The center of the image, we can say. the center part of this 4x4 image. So we have to find out the values of this 4 points. We have to find out the values of this 4 points. So for that we have to use this equation, which is given f of p if p is a middle point like this. If p is a middle point like this. So what we have to do is we have to use this equation f of p, which is equal to, we already have the value of f of r1 and f of r2, so we can use that equation directly. The third equation, y2 minus y upon y2 minus y1 f of r1 plus y minus y1 y upon y2 minus y1 into f of r2. So this equation we have to use to find out the value of the point p. So p is the any point in the center of the image. We have four such points. So we know y2, y1 very well. Only we have to decide the value of y, because value of y is the new point for which we are calculating. So that's what we have to do. So we can use any equation to find out either the third one or the fourth one. We can use any equation to find out the value of the point based on the x and y coordinate. So here we have four such points. So I am using the equation f of p. So f of p I am calculating based on this equation for the middle first point. The first middle point we are considering is this 1.33, 1.66. It is the coordinate 1.33, 1.66. So you can see that. Right? So this is how we can get the value of this point. You can see here. So your 4 points here, 1.33, 1.33, 1.33, 1.66. Right? So these 4 points are there. So we need to calculate these values. 1.66, 1.66 is there. So this is how you can calculate the values of these 4 points. So here I have given only 2. Right? Not all points are not given here. 1.33, 1.33 is given. Similarly, you can find out for other points. So it is 1.33, 1.33. Another is 1.66, 1.66. That is given clearly here. So similarly, for others we can find out. Right? Similarly, we can find out for others. Right? So this is not required at all. Right? So if I remove this, it will be fine. I think 2 minus 1.33, it is given here. So just we have to find out the values of all these points. And once you find out the values, right, I have calculated only 2. You can see 2.67 and 2.33. Right, I have calculated only 2 based on this equation, 2.67 and 2.33. Then 1.99 and 2.99. So here you can see 2.99 is there, 1.99 is also there. Right, so remaining 2 you can find out easily. So I have considered only 2 points. Right, I have considered only 2, and we can find out the values of that point through this technique. Okay, once you are getting these values, definitely you have to do a normalization. So definitely, because we cannot have a floating point values as pixels, so for that we have to round it off. So 3.33 will be your 3, 3.66 will be your 4, because you cannot have that intensity like 3.66. So this is how you will get the values of all these points. So I hope these equations are clear. This is a very simple equation you have to remember, so that you can find out the values of any pixel. Right here I am doing a zooming in such a way that it will double the size of the image. I am doubling the row as well as column, but it is not necessary. You can also zoom it in one direction. You can also zoom the image in any one direction, and you can get the solution. So this is how we can perform the image zooming with a bilinear interpolation technique. So you have to just remember these equations, and once you remember this equation, you can find out the values of all the new pixels which are generated by you. Okay, so now let us go to our next topic, isopreference curve. So basically the purpose of isopreference curve is it shows that how the gray levels and the size of the image will affect when you want to extract the details from the image. How the gray levels of the image and the size of the image will affect when you want to extract the information from the image. So if you look at the first picture, so it has a very low level of details because only one person face is given, and you can see the gray levels. So you are in all these three, we have considered the same gray levels. In all these three images, we have considered the same gray levels. So even though the gray levels are same, you can see the difference between the three. In the first one, we have a very low level detail because you have to recognize only the face of a person. It is just like a face recognition. Only one face is there and you want to recognize that face. So when there is a low level detail, if you reduce the number of gray levels or if you reduce the size of the image, still you are able to extract the information because the image having a low level detail. So you can easily extract the face of the person and when you reduce the size of this image. Now when you consider the second image, a cameraman image, this image has a medium level detail because you want to extract the face of a person. Also you can detect, we can say action recognition task. That person is taking a picture using a camera. You can also detect the other objects like iPod, like this tripod, right? It is a tripod on which camera is placed. So you can detect the action of a person is taking a picture. You can recognize the face of a person. You can recognize the tripod which is used by the person to take a picture. Also you can recognize the background building in which area it is taken. So we have a medium level of detail. So when you reduce the size of the image, it is difficult to extract all this information because size of the image will play an important role. The gray levels will play an important role when you reduce it for a medium level of image. Now in the third one, it is a image with a crowd. Maybe they are enjoying some kind of a football or cricket match or something like that. So it is a crowd image where people are, I think, cheering up. So it is a image with a very high level of detail. So now when you go for this kind of image, and if you reduce the size of the image, or if you reduce the number of gray levels of this image, hardly you are able to extract the information from it. Because if you reduce the size, you cannot recognize the face of a person because there are many faces. Right? There are many faces in this picture. You cannot recognize the person if you reduce the size of the image. And similarly, if you reduce the gray level of the image, it will not be possible to recognize even that it is an image of a crowdy people with lot of crowd. So the role of the gray level and role of size and the size of the image will play a role when you want to extract the information. So that is known as isopreference curve. So you can say that for the face image, the first one, even though you will go to a gray level of 5, right? And with an image size of between 64 to 128, right? You can recognize it very well. So you can see the curve, right? Because it has a very low detail. It has a very low detail. On the other hand, when you want to extract the information from a crowd, when you go to a level that is 4 gray levels, and the size of the image is between 64 to 128, you can see the shape of the curve, right? So you cannot extract the information using this kind of details. So you have to go for a higher level of image size. So you can see that when the image size reduces, for crowd we are getting a very less information. We are getting a very less information from it. So it is known as isopreference curve. Okay, now when you want to perform image segmentation, the neighborhood of pixel is very important. You might have studied about convolution in the other chapter in the image enhancement. Have you heard about convolution? So basically this convolution is what? It is, we are applying a mask on a certain area of the image. So that area is what? It is the neighborhood of that image. It will be a 3 cross 3 mask, or it can be a 5 cross 5 mask. So basically we are applying a mask on a small part of the image, and we are performing some operation like image enhancement or image smoothing or anything. So here let us understand what is the neighborhood. So it is very simple. For a pixel, center pixel f of xy, the 4 points, that is top left, then uh, top top pixel, then the left pixel, right pixel, and the bottom one. So this 4 is forming the 4 neighborhood of the given pixel p, where p is the center pixel. So we have this, if f of xy is the center pixel, these 4 coordinates are important for us. F of x comma y minus 1, which is the top one, f of x minus 1 comma y leftmost, then f of x plus 1 y right one, and f of x comma y plus 1, that is the bottom one. So this is forming the 4 neighborhood of the given pixel. So if this neighborhood having the same intensity, we can say that they will form the region. They will form one region. So we can do a region analysis. How many different regions are there in the image? We can find out using this neighborhood. Another important term is diagonal neighbors of a pixel. So for the given pixel xy, we have 4 diagonal elements: top left, bottom left, top right, and the bottom right. These are forming the diagonal neighbors of the given pixel. So these two are very simple. Third one is known as 8 neighbors of the pixel. So this neighborhood is a very important term when we want to do a regional analysis. That for a given pixel f of xy, there are 8 neighbors. We will consider 4 diagonal neighbors plus 4 neighbors. So we have four neighbors, and we have 4 diagonal neighbors. So this 8 will form the 8 neighborhood of the given pixel f of xy. So now using this we can find out the connectivity. So establishing boundaries of object and components of regions in an image. So main goal of this for connectivity is this, that we want to establish the boundary, that this is a foreground picture, this is a background picture, this is a tripod, this is a face of the person, this is the background grass, this is a building. So this is how we can establish the boundaries of the different objects in the image. We'll group the same region by assumption the pixels being the same color or equal intensity will are the same region. So basically if they have the equal intensity by this neighborhood, it can be a 4 neighborhood, it can be 8 neighborhood, or diagonal neighborhood. So we can say that they are forming one region if they have the same intensity. So based on this neighborhood, we have this terms, two pixels P and Q with a value in color set C are for connectivity if Q is in the neighborhood, for neighborhood of the P. So we can consider any two pixels. We can consider any two pixels P and Q, and we can check for their for neighborhood connectivity based on the color set C. So this color set C is very important. We have to only choose the color for this neighborhood which is in the color set. There may be many colors in the image. There are many gray levels in the image, but we have to only select the gray level which is in the set C. And using that, we have to check the for neighborhood. So that if I consider the color as 1, I have to use only color C is equal to 1. So you can see that all these pixels are having a 4 neighborhood. So we can say in this image there are 2 regions, because if you start from the first row, a second row first column, the second row first column, you will find 1 is there. Now I will use a 4 neighborhood. I am using a 4 connectivity. So second row, second column, it is in the 4 neighborhood. Second row, second column is in the 4 neighborhood. Similarly, first row, second column. First row, second column is also in the 4 neighborhood. First row, third column. The first row, third column, it is also in the 4 neighborhood. So these 4 pixels are there in the 4 connectivity. Is it clear? We'll start with second row, first column. Then in the 4 neighborhood, we have a second row, second column. Then in the 4 neighborhood, we have a first row, second column. Then we have a first row and the third column. So they are forming one 4 neighborhood using the color 1. They are connected with color 1. So they are forming one region. Similarly, another possible region is here. Third row, third column, third row, third column. Then we have third row, fourth column. And then we have second row. They are also forming a region using 4 connectivity. So is this 4 connectivity clear? Yes. Is this 4 connectivity clear? So basically there are 2 regions if you go for a 4 connectivity in this image with color is equal to 1. With color equal to 1. Is this clear for connectivity? Yes. Any doubt in this? For connectivity of pixels. Okay, so now similar to that, we have another definition. 8 connectivity, 2 pixels P and Q with value in the color set C are 8, having 8 connectivity if Q is in the 8 neighborhood of the P. If Q is in the 8 neighborhood of the P. So if I consider the same picture, how many regions are there if I consider the 8 connectivity of the pixel? If I consider the 8 connectivity of the pixel, how many regions are there? So you will start with the any position. So here if I start from the first row, second column, 1 is there, and in the 4 connectivity we have 2 more pixels. First row, third column, and second row, second column. I am starting from first row, second column. I will start from first row, second column. So I have 2 pixels in the 4 neighborhood here. The first row, third column, second row, second column. So then I will take any one of these pixels. So if I consider the first row, third column, I will consider first row, third column. Then in the 8 neighborhood, we have second row, fourth column pixel. In the 8 neighborhood, I have a second row, fourth column pixel. So that will be also in the 8 neighborhood. So when I consider about 8 neighborhood, I will get this kind of relations. Right? There are many pixels which are in the 8 neighborhood. So they are forming one region. They are forming one complete region. Right? It is given a same region number because they are connected. So you can think about any circle or a tire in which there are few pixels black and inside part is of different color. So if you consider a picture of a tire, you will get this kind of regions, a background color, a ring shape of the tire, and the center part of the tire, which is of different color. So through 8 connectivity in this same image, we are getting one region. We are getting one region. Now, third important connectivity is known as M connectivity. It is M connectivity. So two pixels with values in C are having 8 connectivity. If Q is in the 4 neighborhood of P, if there is directly 4 neighborhood, it is M connectivity. Or if Q is in the diagonal neighborhood of P, if Q is in the diagonal neighborhood of P and the set 4 neighborhood of P and 8 and 4 neighborhood of Q is empty. If the intersection of these two set 4 neighborhood of P and the 4 neighborhood of Q is empty and Q is in the diagonal neighborhood of the pixel P and Q is in the diagonal neighborhood of the pixel P, then we can say they are M connected. So now here it is the M connectivity for the given example. So when you consider the pixel second row, second column, consider the pixel second row, second column. So now for the second row, second column, SP, let us consider this one. Second row, second column SP and third row, second column equal to Q. Right? Let us consider in this way. Second row, second column SP and third row, second column second row, second column SP and third row, third column SQ, right? Otherwise, it is not possible. Equal to Q. You have to consider color equal to 1. That's why. So now for this, you have to use M connectivity. Definitely there is a 8 connectivity, but we are checking is there M connectivity between the two pixels. So now you can see that Q is not in the 4 neighborhood of P. Q is not in the 4 neighborhood of P. Is it clear? Q not in N4 of P. Q is not in the 4 neighborhood of P. Now we have to check that as per the rule of M connectivity, right? If Q is in N diagonal of P, it is in the diagonal of P, we have to check for diagonal neighborhood. So the answer is yes. Q in ND of P, N diagonal of P, in the diagonal connectivity of P. Now we have to check that N4 of P, the 4 neighborhood of P and 4 neighborhood of Q is to take intersection of two sets. It is empty. Is this clear why it is empty? Because in the 4 neighborhood of P, you will find only 2 points. In the 4 neighborhood of P, you will find 2 points, top and the left. In the 4 neighborhood of P, you will find 2 points only, top and the left. Similarly, in the 4 neighborhood of Q, you will find the right point. It is only the right one. So intersection of these two is empty. Is it clear? The 4 neighborhood of P includes only 2 points, top and the left. The 4 neighborhood of P includes only two, top and the left. And the 4 neighborhood of Q includes only the right point. The intersection of these two is empty. So there is a M connectivity. There is a M connectivity between the two. Is this clear? Is this definition of M connectivity clear? Similarly, you can check for the point first row, third column, and second row, fourth column. Okay, now let us tell me what is is there M connectivity between first row, second column? Let us take P equal to 1, 2 and Q equal to 2, 1. Is there M connectivity? P equal to 1, 2 point and 2, 1. Is there M connectivity between the two? What is the answer for these 2 points, P and Q? Yes, if you can give the answer. Can you give the reason why, Rahil? I want a very quick answer from Rahil. So can you tell why? Yes, there is an intersection point, that is 2, 2. 2, 2 is in both N4 of P and N4 of Q. But make sure that we are using color C. Right? We have to use only color C equal to 1. If here 2, 2 is 0, if here 2, 2 is 0, then what will happen? If I will consider the 2, 2 equal to 0 intensity, then is there M connectivity? Yes, because the intersection is having a pixel with intensity 0, and that is not a part of your color set. And that is not a part of your color set. So this is how we can get the intensity. So just we are doing the same thing here. There is no 4 path exist between the two. Based on this connectivity, we can define the term 4 path, 8 path, and M path. So between P and Q, there is no 4 path exist, because you cannot have a 4 neighborhood to reach from P to Q. Using a 4 neighborhood, you cannot reach from P to Q. There is a 8 path, you can reach from P to Q using 8 connectivity. Using P to Q, you can have 8 connectivity and you can reach from P to Q. So 8 path exist. And similarly, from P to Q, you can reach using M connectivity, because there exists M path. There exists M path, right? You have to check for two pixels. You have to take a group of 2. And if there is M path between P and Q, you can say if there is M connectivity between the 2 points and you can reach from P to Q, so it is a M path between the 2 pixels. So it is very simple. So we'll see more about this connectivity in the next session. But you have to remember this definition because we have to use this definition in the next lecture as well. Thank you.